Alright, so let's start installing CapCut, and you can go to CapCut.com, or you can also find it in the Microsoft Store or the Apple Store. It is completely free to download, and unless you use some of the pro features that are inside the app, you don't have to pay anything to export the videos. By the way, as I said before, there are 3 different versions. There's the smartphone, the web version, and the desktop version. They're all very similar with minor feature differences between each one of them, but mainly with the smartphone version, you're going to be stuck with a smaller screen. The web version, you're going to have to upload all your clips to the cloud, and the desktop version just seems to me that it's the easiest and fastest one to get your videos edited. Okay, so once you get it installed, you can just open CapCut using the icon, and when you open it, you're going to be greeted by this home screen where you're going to be able to see all your past projects. If you just installed it, it's going to be empty, and you can create a user so that it's connected with your TikTok account if you want to post directly there. Also now CapCut is implementing this cloud service in which you're going to be able to share projects between your smartphone and your desktop if you'd like. But first, let's go to the settings up here. So we're just going to click on this gear icon and go to settings. And here there are some things that you want to change before you even begin editing something to make everything faster and easier for you. So first of all, where it's going to save automatically the draft of your projects. So you can choose a home folder for that. Cache files are going to make scrubbing to your timeline and everything a little bit faster, but it can accumulate a lot of data. So if you don't have that much space on your computer, you can put it to auto-delete this cache after some days, and also you can see how much cache you're using right now, and you can just clear it if you need to. Okay, let's see edit, and here we have image duration, meaning that when you throw a picture inside of your timeline, how long is it going to be? So right now it's set for the default, which is 5 seconds. Frame rate is important because it depends on how you're recording your clips. You can check in your camera or your phone settings to see how you've been recording, but generally in the US you would use 30 frames per second, and in Europe 25 due to some standards. So in my case, for example, I'm going to change to 25. Timecode, you don't need to change anything. Let's go to performance. Now these 3 first options should be on to make it a little bit faster, but if you find any problems in exporting the project later on, these also might be the cause. So just keep it in mind, but leave it on for now. Now proxy mode is very important for those that use slower or older computers. This is going to create a lower resolution file for every clip you import into CapCut. So it's going to take some time processing that in the beginning, but later on it's going to make your editing so much more fluid and easier. So if you're already thinking, oh, this is my case, click this one. Okay, let's save this and let's create a new project. Okay, so here we got the main interface of CapCut, and it looks a little bit empty for now, so I'll just import one video to make it easier to understand each part of it. And to import a video, you can just click import and then find the folder that you want, or you can simply open the folder, drag and drop it over here, and it's already going to show you the video. So up here on the left, we have the main panel with the menus and what you've got imported. So first, local, we have all the files that we've imported already, so in this case only this drone file, and on library you have everything that CapCut offers you already automatically inside the app. For the audio panel, we have music, sound effects, text. You're gonna find many different types of templates and everything for you to use in your videos, including the captions, stickers to spice up your editing, many different effects that you can use in your videos, and CapCut is quite famous with these. Transitions for you to go from one scene to the other without simply cutting. Filters are gonna change the look of your videos, and on adjustment you can do it also, but in a more manual way. In the meantime, here in the middle you have the preview panel where you're gonna see the video that you selected up here on the left. And you can also drag these lines to make everything bigger or smaller, so you can adjust the screen the way you want it. And simply you're gonna see that there's a counter here showing the timer for the video clip that is going on, how long it is. And here on the bottom right, you're going to be able to see the zoom function so that you can just zoom in and out to see the video clip from a little bit closer by. And you're going to be able to see it full screen if you want to. You can just press ask to come back. And your scene ratio right now is grayed out because we didn't throw this in the timeline yet, but we're going to do it in 1 second. And here up on the right, you're going to just be able to see the settings that we did before. So just to control if your main settings are exactly the way that you want them. And down here we have the timeline that we are only actually going to be able to see the options when we drag and drop our first clip into there. So I'll just click here, drag it over here and drop it, and now we have our first video in the timeline. So the preview right now is actually showing what we've got over here. So now you can see that some things changed already in the interface because we have a little bit more control over what's going on. And since I have this clip clicked, now we can go back first to the preview panel where some options are now available that weren't before. First of all, I'm going to click here on the zoom, and I'm just going to take it out a little bit so that you can see that when I have it clicked, now we have these balls all around that are going to allow me to actually manipulate the video directly from here. Another option available now is the ratio that wasn't before. And this is just what shape is going to be your video. So if you're creating stuff for social media, for example, and it has to be vertical, you can just come up here and choose 9 by 16, for example. If you're doing things for YouTube and horizontal, you can choose 16 by 9. Let me just click here 9 by 16, for example, and you can see the interface immediately changed and now the video is centered over there. I'm going to go back to the original so that it's a little bit easier for you to see. And now one trick that can be very important for you is coming up here, and there are these very small 3 little bars. You can click on it and you're going to have some options like oscilloscope. We're not going to use this for now, but preview quality can be very important. There's performance priority or quality priority. And this is going to change how your video looks in the preview panel. If you want to see it with the maximum quality, you can choose quality priority. But if you feel that the computer is going a little bit slower and you're not being able to see the video in real time, you can choose performance priority, and probably it's going to help a lot. And also we're going to have down here export still frame, which is going to allow you to export a JPEG file, a picture, from what you're seeing on the screen right now. That can be useful for creating thumbnails, for example. And now here on the right, having the clip selected, we have all of the options of things that we can do with this video, like changing where the video is, opacity, how it looks, how fast it is. If you want to add any kind of animation, we can do it from here also, and do all sorts of color adjustments to that clip. So mostly everything we can do with this clip is going to be up there. And down here on the timeline, we're going to have some buttons here on the left, which actually are going to reflect some of the things we find in the inspector. And here on the right, we have some other options that are more specifically to the timeline handling itself, which is exactly what we're going to talk about in the next class.